Good day there viewers, and welcome to my channel. My name is Cliff, and in today's episode I'll be faceting pink sapphire. Before I start faceting, I'll take you on a brief tour of the Ilokaka mines of Madagascar, just so you know the origin of this gem. Anyway, before I take you to the mines, I need just a little nap to recuperate from the long trip getting here. Here is the island of Madagascar, and I'm pretty much standing in the region of Ilokaka where the mines are. This map will give you a better idea of where Ilokaka is. Anyway, let's head off to the mines. There are several ways how sapphires are mined. One way are the large open pits. Another way how miners dig for sapphire is by digging a shaft, and sometimes these shafts can go down to a depth of 30 meters. So we've seen the mines, it's time for me to pick up my little buddy Jaws and we'll shoot off back to Australia and we'll meet you back there. Well folks, we've made it safe and sound back to Australia. Let's go into my gem cutting hut and start faceting this pink sapphire. Hi there, we've made it back into the real world, and as you can see that the pink sapphire from Ilokaka, Madagascar, is a lot smaller than in the previous scene. So this particular sapphire, which is a light pastel pink, weighs 1.38 carats and the dimensions are 6.2 by 5.2 by 3.2 millimeters. So here are the original photos that the seller took of the sapphire before I purchased it, and you can see that things are a little bit over embellished with the size, and the gem has been also oiled up. As you can see here, the gem appears a lot smaller now that it's been glued onto a dopstick with super glue. Over the years, after buying so much rough material from gem dealers, you pretty much get used to what the size will be in reality as opposed to the photo. So if you're new to buying rough gems, don't have high expectations because often you will be let down. Before I start faceting, I'll go through the design sequence, and I'm faceting a design called the Novice Cushion Triangle by Robert Strickland. In the world of gem cutting, this particular shape, which is triangular, is commonly known as a trillion design. Such a design can come with an unlimited combination of different facet designs, and also some trillion designs simply look better than others in terms of quality of scintillation. Out of all the trillion designs, this is the one I like probably the most of all. It's simple, I love the sequencing of when I cut it, and not only that, it really does scintillate well. So if you're a gem cutter, I would highly suggest that this particular trillion design is part of your gem cutting arsenal of gems that you will most often be likely to go back and recut. And I guess unlike most people who facet, that you have a series of gems that you do want to continually recut. Just like the standard round brilliant or the Portuguese cut, we all have these designs that we do like to go back to because they are simply classic designs. So here is a computer generated GIF of what the outcome of the gem should look like, and by the way, I've done this on Gem Cut Studio. So I'm ready to start now, and I'll be cutting 6 facets to a temporary center point at 42 degrees. I've decided to start with a 3000 grit diamond topper lap. Now when you're faceting small gems like this, you don't want to be using a coarse grade lap like 240 grit, or God forbid that you use an 80 or 100 grit lap, because you will actually tear the gem off the dopstick. So if you're finding that the 3000 grit is a little bit on the slow side in cutting, particularly with a harder gem like sapphire, you can always move up to a 1200 grit diamond plated topper lap. So here you can see that I've cut the first 6 temporary facets to a center point, There is a little bit of a chip on the culet, but I'm not too worried about that yet because I can remove that when I cut in the permanent center point facets. So the next step is for me to cut the girdle outline. I've set the protractor at 90 degrees, so let's get on to cutting the outline of this gem. So the first 6 girdle outline facets have been completed, and these are called the G1 facets because later on I need to cut in another 6 girdle facets, and those will be called the G2 facets. In the following scenes you'll see that the Pavilion 2 and Pavilion 3 facets and the rest of the girdle have been completed. So I'm ready to start polishing all the facets that I've just completed, and I'm using my tin lamp with a 50,000 grit diamond compound and my Herco valve oil. With Sapphire, after the gem has been finally polished, there is an occurrence that occasionally does happen. It's called orange peel. So when looking at the polished surface under high magnification such as a jeweler's loupe, you can see lots of little speckles or indentations, very similar to the surface of an orange peel. There are quite a few theories surrounding what causes this orange peel effect. Some say it's because of air bubbles trapped within the sapphire, but I believe it's actually something else. In my opinion, orange peel effect in sapphire is caused by one less step within the pre-polish phase. So for example, most gems you can move from a 3000 pre-polish straight onto a 50,000 final polish, but with sapphire you probably need to use an 8000 or a 14,000 pre-polish and then move on to the final polish. For me, I don't bother with the extra pre-polish because I have a really good understanding of how final polish works by regulating it. So I'm ready to facet the crown, and I've just completed a secondary transfer, taken the dop sticks out of the transfer block, and I need to detach the original dop stick. So when removing the original dop stick you need to go very careful by removing it slowly, and I'm heating up the scalpel blade and just slowly peeling off the original glue. Usually I just heat the dop stick and it'll fall off, but trillions are notorious for detachments, so you have to be very careful even removing the original dop stick. One of the biggest problems you find with triangular gems or trillions is that after the transfer, the pavilion needs to sit inside a round cone dop. Unfortunately, due to the shape of the triangular pavilion, there is not enough contact area within the cone dop for the glue to attach to, so you will need to apply plenty of glue within the dop but also around the base of the pavilion almost up to the girdle outline. If you don't, this particular shape will detach out of a dop stick within a heartbeat. So from now on, the faceting of the crown and the polishing of the crown has to be done with a very delicate touch, because if it pops out, to realign or reattach this particular gem back into a dop stick, it would be almost impossible to align it properly to recut that crown. So basically now I'm just allowing the weight of the quill to cut the facets on the crown, because I've got a fairly heavy quill, so I don't need to use a lot of downward hand pressure, and being such a small gem, I'll be able to cut these facets quite quickly. In the following scenes you'll see that I've cut all the crown facets according to the sequence of the design. In the following scenes you'll see that all the crown facets have been polished using the same process of a tin lap and a 50,000 grit diamond compound. So coming up shortly will be what we call the final reveal, where you get to see what this gem looks like taken out of a dop stick. So in closing, I would like to thank all my subscribers and viewers. Don't forget to click the bell icon if you want to see future videos, and please leave some comments. So until next time, it's bye for now. Take care.